lesson 2, and we're going to get into some really cool and neat things. So first and foremost is we're going to take the homework that you've been doing, the crawling up the string, okay, and maintaining good hand placement. We're going to advance this now. So instead of just playing on the one string, you're not going to go down all of the strings. So you're going to start on E, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to go to A, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to go to D, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then G, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then B. And then back to the high E. Okay? Just like that. I can actually turn this little guy on a little bit more and you can hear me a little bit better. Okay, so we've advanced your homework to now just having okay, now the hard and technical thing is, remember, proper picking hand. Okay, you want to get really used and comfortable to playing the individual notes and where your hand is, and you want to start training your left hand, your fretting hand, to be able to hit these different notes. And remember, when you play the note, you don't ever want to be on the fret, you want to be just behind it. Part of this exercise is how do you get that cleanest note. Now, we can take this and we can advance it a little bit further, because this is kind of a boring technique. Just, I'm going to just be playing this. So, get a metronome. You can get it on an app. You can actually search metronome on Google, and it has a metronome built into the Google search engine. Marvelous. Okay? You can do this to songs. You can do this anywhere. And what you want to do is play it in rhythm. So instead of being like, okay, you want to be in tune. You want to be in pace with it. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And while you're doing this, resist the urge to speed up or slow down. You want to be very steady to whatever beat. If you want to play faster, cool. Set the metronome faster, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But always be on rhythm. The technique that separates the guitar kings and queens of the world from bedroom players, bedroom walkers, is just that. They can play in full rhythm. Doesn't matter what. You can screw up and you can make mistakes all day. As long as you're in rhythm, that's where it's at. Of course, you want to get it. Like if you notice, I was kind of tripping down here. Yep, see on that string switch? So I need to work on that. So just doing this exercise will help you learn and train your hand where your strings are at. Your hand will learn it, and you'll eventually get really good. So that's the advancement from your homework, and you want to do that every day. As much as possible, multiple times a day. That's really going to train your fretting hand and your strumming hand. You're going to get real good real fast. But that's not what today's lesson's about. No. See, we're going to start advancing and pushing into some more of the actually playing of the guitar. So while you are also doing individual note, which is great for soloing, we're now going to start training you on how to do chords. And so it's basically everything you're doing, but now we're going to be training. So chords are very difficult. They can be complex, but they're very easy in the guitar tablature system. And they basically say, okay, well, your index finger's 1, middle's 2, your ring finger's 3, and your pinky is 4, right? And then they kind of tell you and show you where you should put your fingers. Well, if you've memorized now the names of the strings, E, A, D, G, B, E, there are acronyms. I can't actually memorize the acronyms. Instead, I just memorize the notes, just brute force. Whatever works for you, just know that if you can just remember the note names of each string, and then just realize that, like, oh yeah, open is 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They literally just go up in number. You can learn to play any song. You just need those 2 tricks. Can you count 0 through 22, 24, depending on the guitar? I think yours is a 22. And can you memorize the note names of each string? And they'll do it visually too. It really is nice. If you can do those two things, you're going to be set. So we're going to use that. So we're going to place your middle finger, number 2, right, on the A string at the 2nd fret. That's right here. Okay? So A string, E, A, and then 2nd fret is 0, 1, 0, 1, 2. Hit the wrong string there. Okay? That's the 2nd fret on the A string. So then we're going to do the same thing with your ring finger. We're going to just tuck it right in on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, on D. So, and what this is the E chord, and technically an E5. We'll get into the naming chords later. Just know that this is an E. That feels and sounds really good, okay? So what I want you to do is the fastest way to learn chords. You're going to take your hand off the guitar neck, you're going to put it back on, you're going to find your 2 frets, play, let it ring out, feel really good about it, take them off. Okay, use your other hand, your palm, to kind of mute the strings. Put your hand back on the neck, right in position, play. Let it ring, off. Okay, the trick, see, when you're actually playing, you're not going to take your hand on and off the guitar neck. But while you're learning the chords, this is like a reset on your brain, where it's like, oh, I'm here, okay. But then you take your hand off and it's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? You come back in, oh, hey, we're back home. It's a way of hacking your brain to learn this chord shape. Now, you can actually use any fingers you want. Here I'm using my index and my middle. You can actually do your ring and pinky finger. The strongest right here for just this basic chord is your middle and your ring. Now, notice I'm only playing these 3. Well, you can actually advance this chord. So if you want to do a full E chord, well, sneak your little pinky in on the 2nd fret on the G string. And you have this really bright sounding E. But notice, now that I'm shoving more fingers here on the same fret, look how cramped my hand is. Your hand probably won't see that same difficulty, but I have to be very, very careful in my finger position to make sure that I'm able to play just behind the fret here. But I'm putting down enough pressure to play these notes here as well. Okay, so this is the full E major chord. Don't worry about the names, this is just a really big E chord. Now, we can actually take your index finger, okay, and put it on the 1st fret of the G string. And this is an E minor chord. It has a different feel to it. You're literally changing one note. It has a completely different feel. And you're only going a half step, a single tone. A semitone, actually, yeah. I love just this open, hard chord with just the 2 fingers. Feels really good. But my play style is very much more pop-punk, heavier rock, so that gets into a different style later. So that's your E chord. So remember, okay, 2 fingers, 2nd fret, on the A and the D string. Okay, let it ring. Remember, so when you're playing and you're plucking, you're maintaining that. So what you were doing for the single note, you're now playing down multiple notes. You can go all the way down, you can go down the first 3. Okay, same thing, nice and firm enough that you're getting good tone, but not so hard that you're snapping your strings. Guitar is a very, very soft instrument to play. A lot of people really try and fight it. You just have to dance with it. It's very gentle. Okay? So, nice play, let it ring, stop, take your hand off, give it a shake even if you want, put it right back on. The faster and the better you can do this. And it's a little harder because I'm balancing my guitar with my right arm. Okay? You're going to train the E chord for your hand. This little guy's going to be so smart, you could just, any day of the week, okay? But we don't have to stop there, because this is a very easy chord shape. Well, you already know how to play A now, because technically, if you move your middle finger and your ring finger to the 2nd fret of the D and the G string, well, heidi-ho, Here's an A chord. Okay? Let's take a A5 right there. Don't worry about that. Same rules apply. If I want to make this A minor, index finger, but now on the B string, first fret. Okay? If I want A major, I'm going to sneak my little pinky in there and do the second fret of the B string. Make a really bright sounding chord, that's A major. And if I want just the open 5 chord, there it is. And I'm only playing the 3 strings on that one too. That's A. So you can literally go E, A, and you can even go A and E. Let that ring and reset. And in fact, if you want to make it even more fun, the trick is getting your hands into place, feeling that note. Doesn't matter how fast you go. Get it there, play, feel it, really feel good about it, okay? Then you can work on chord changes and go to A. Since you already know it, it's the exact same chord structure, it's super easy. Bada boom, bada bing. And then take your hand off, give it a shake if you want, come back. 2 chords, that's lesson 2, super easy.